You're here. I'm Sokovi. This is Anime Watch. Alright, on this episode of Anime Watch, I'm going back in the past to bring you a classic, 1988 Demon City Shinjuku. Now, Demon City Shinjuku is about Kyosa Izayoi, Sayaka, and Rebi Ra. Alright, so the story of Demon City Shinjuku is this. Kyoya's father, was the strongest, user of this special power they had. And Rebi Ra was like, the second. You know how it normally is. You got the top guy, then you got the guy below him who gets jealous because he's not number one. That's who Rebi Ra was. Now, at the beginning of this, he's fighting Kyoya's father, and since he couldn't surpass him using the methods they were using, he went to the demons and was like, yo, hook me up with some powers. I suppose that happened. You didn't see it, but they said it and it implied it. So, he did that, got the powers. He beat Kyoya's father. Boom, beginning of the movie. Kyoya's father dies. Now, it's apparently 10 years later because Rebi Ra's like, hey, I got to wait 10 years to summon the demons. So, but Shinjuku is destroyed. Shinjuku's went down like a big earthquake. The whole city, it's become Demon City. Just a place for miscreants and literally demons. So, 10 years later, president's coming, president gonna bring peace in the future and everything. And, he's caught by Rebi Ra's people, they spring a trap on him. Kyoya's father's master shows up and tells Kyoya, hey, we need you to go fight Rebi Ra. We only got 3 days. Now, he tells him this, but then he also tells him, when you're as strong as your father, you haven't got the proper training. Oh, go ahead and go fight Rebi Ra. You're going to lose. So, of course, Kyoya will say no, because he's not getting any training. They're just telling him to go fight a fight that he's going to lose, which makes no sense. But then he's like, screw that, and he goes to ride off. Sayaka, the president's daughter, is just outside like, hey, can you help us out? Let's go to Shinjuku. And he's like, yo, he already told me I was inadequate and would lose. And she's like, all right. And then she goes on her own. She can't do jack. And so he ends up going, following her. She doesn't know at first until some dudes are about to rape her. And then he jumps in and be like, yo, stop that mess. And then I'm looking like, Sayaka, you dummy, what was you planning on doing? She was going to sneak up to him and be like, yo, Rebi Ra, I can't fight. I don't have no powers. I don't got nothing. Would you please stop? I guess that's what she was thinking. Bada bing, bada boom, the movie starts basically when they get into Shinjuku. There is also a character named Mephisto in it. He doesn't really do much, but he just seems so cool that I wanted to see more of him. Now, I like Kyoya Izayoi just because of the fact when they told him, hey, you can't beat this guy beat your father, you're nowhere near as strong as your father, he was like, kill that noise, why would I go? Even though I knew, yeah, he has to go because it's called Demon City Shinjuku, the fact that he was like, no, because you just told me I would lose, why would I go, basically, that made me like this character. Now, Sayaka, I didn't like as much because she was too kind-hearted, kind of. It was like, hey, girl, you know what's going on. You know more than he does about the demons and stuff, but you too lighthearted. But, I mean, I guess it was a good balance. Even though I think the ending of the story was kind of like cliched, I like that character just merely because of that fact. And then, like I said, Mephisto, I really liked him already. And that was basically it, those 3 characters. And you can count the president, but all he did was this the whole movie. And so that's not really doing anything. And then there was also the master, but, all he did was sit there and look at the president the whole movie. So, there's really nothing more about them. Now, they did have a couple of demons in the movies. Yeah, like one crab-like demon, one, like, stretchy woman who you got to see booby. But it was a monster. And then you had Rebi Ra. And the Rebi Ra character, he didn't really do much. Because, he was just floating in the air, I guess, because he had to wait 10 years to summon these demons. And it was like 3 days down. And he was right about to summon them, But Rebi Ra he was all right. He wasn't like a character I'm like, man, that's a great villain. But I was kind of looking at it like, he doesn't really do much. Until the very end, none of the fights are like, oh man, that was a great fight. It's more of a quick thing. It's like, hey, that guy's too strong. You're gonna swing at him a couple times, But if you got a weapon that can kill somebody, you're not gonna just be hacking at them for like a long time. You're just gonna take that one stab or one hit or whatever. So most of the fights didn't last long. Most of the fights when they were actually fighting were pretty quick. Even the end fight wasn't really long. It was like done. So I can't knock it for that, but I can't praise it for that. So it's kind of in that middle ground. Like, it's not great, it's not bad, it's just a battle. They drew to the battle, it got over with, it's done. That's the battles in Demon City Shinjuku. Now, me personally, I like anime that was made in the 80s, 90s. I like that style. I like the way it looks. So I like the way this look with the animation. I like the way the characters look. I like that style of animation, that style of character. So I like everything about that. But like I said, with the story wasn't that great. It wasn't that much with it. It wasn't much depth to it. It was basically, hey, this is happening in 3 days. Take care of it. Even though the guy was asleep like for one of the days. But it wasn't much going on, and you kind of knew what was going to happen from the onset. Like right after his father died in the beginning and he dropped something, you kind of figured, okay, that's going to come into play at some point. And then sure enough, because of that, you know, he saved the day, or he defeated the evil. So it's not like it was something new, something that would be unexpected. It was pretty much by the book. You knew what was going to happen. But with that said, it was still very enjoyable, and I would watch it again. It would be one I could watch again, like with some other people, or if somebody hadn't seen it, I could sit down and watch it again. So it wasn't unenjoyable. It wasn't like up there top tier great anime that I would watch over and over again. But all in all, Demon City Shinjuku is pretty good. Check it out if you get the chance. That's it for this episode of Anime Watch. Blah, 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 whatever. You know something that never made sense to me? How come when there's a movie where there's like this bad guy, or I mean like bad like a tough guy, not bad like bad guy, but the tough guy is fighting bad guys, so it's two bad guys, but one bad guy is a good bad guy, but the one bad guy is a bad guy. You know, like when he's like, oh man, that's a bad guy. Like, that's a bad dude. Like, he's bad because he beat people up. Not he's bad because he's evil. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. But how come when there's like a tough guy, like the cool like protagonist, and when he's like killing demons, how come there's no demons most of the time? It's like, hey, that guy just killed Jim over there. I know there's no demons named Jim, but it's like, hey, that guy just killed this demon who was stronger than me. I'm not gonna fight him. I'm just gonna dip and go do something else, and like go chill around with the master, because it's always like all your people are dead, and then you finally get to the boss. If I was them, I'd just run to the boss and be like, yeah, boss, we're going to fight them together. You know, there's strength in numbers. But then it's always the boss who's like, hey, I'm stronger than everybody. I don't got to worry about none of that. And then the demons are like, oh, we all died because we thought the other person, oh, they're just weak. But if there's like 5 of you and the guy kills 3 of you, then those last 2 should either know to run away or go hide somewhere or just double team. But nope, they don't do that most of the time. They just be like, oh, let's die one by one, boss. And the bosses are like, man, you killed all my people. Be like, wait a minute, boss. Don't you know how strong your people was? Now, if this dude killed all your people today, could you have done that today? Because if you couldn't have killed all them people that was supposed to be guarding your stuff today, then maybe you should rethink your plan, apologize, and ask for forgiveness because he killed all your people today.